Hello and welcome back to Celestial Ascension Tarot and Healing. My name is CJ. Today we are going to be doing the weekly love reading for Sagittarius. This could be your sun, moon, or rising sign. If this reading does not resonate with you, you can always check your other placements. Please take what resonates and leave the rest out. Please do not try to make these energies fit where they do not. So let's see what's coming in this week for Sagittarius and love. Sagittarius and love, please, Spirit. What is going on with our Saggies? Saggies. I feel like is that you are dealing with a situation where I feel like is that you were betrayed. This could be past betrayal. I feel like is that you could still be with this individual, or something may have ended. I feel like is that you're dealing with a situation where you are feeling a little bit lonely and withdrawn, like this person just, it's like you're with somebody but you feel alone in this connection. I feel like you're exhausted. There could be some conflicts over, finances, which I feel like is creating a little bit, I don't want to say a little bit, I feel like this really could be like a lot of instability when it comes to finances. I feel like is that, you guys are both like so, either one of you I feel like is just so worried about bills, like it's just work, stressing over the bills, and I feel like the stress has just gotten to the point where this connection has just started to get stale. This is creating a lot of toxic energy because I feel like is that you feel like this individual is just all about material things, and rather than keeping your connection. And I feel like is that this obsession or this shadow self that this individual is, I feel like they're kind of like stuck in this energy. I feel like this is just kind of like an energy where you have just kind of got numb to everything. And you're just kind of in an energy of where you have accepted the situation for what it really is, and you're kind of content, or you're trying to really kind of work on finding your peace and your balance with the way everything is. I feel like is that you're trying to fight for this connection. You're trying to fight to reopen what has gotten blocked. I feel like is that all the other things have just come in and really have blocked this connection to the point of, am I still recording? Okay. So yeah, so it has blocked the connection to where you're feeling like there's no intimacy, or there's no hope of fixing this. I feel like that you have been patient. For the most part, you're staying loyal, you're keeping yourself grounded. But I feel like is that, this connection is kind of slowly opening back up. Like the image that I'm seeing here is I'm seeing new buds. like on a rose bush or something. I'm seeing these new buds, and these new buds are in the process of blooming. I feel like is that hope is going to be returning in this connection. It's like something is going to trigger the return of those feelings, the return of that curiosity, that desire to be with one another. I feel like what really happened is this, you know, the energy of like, you know, when you're in a relationship, when you first get in, when you're kind of like in that new energy type, and you know, everything is kind of like what they call the honeymoon phase, and everything is great and you're so in love, and then, you know, the longer that you're together, you know, those feelings kind of start to fade off, which created a lot of trouble. Ooh, Saggies. You're in a very negative energy here. And I get it. I get it. I feel like, is it Saggies, you have been waiting for a while for this connection to show any signs of hope of, you know, getting better. I feel like a lot of things are unspoken, like somebody doesn't let you in. Somebody doesn't let you in to their emotional world. And with this illusions, I feel like is that somebody has clouded judgment. So maybe they could be doing things that they shouldn't. You know, but I just feel like there's this energy of you have fought for this connection, but you're still trying to give this a chance. You're in an energy where it's like, you know, you want to let go, or you feel like you might be better off without this person, but you know that you have this spiritual connection and you guys have great chemistry with one another. And I feel like is that this chemistry is about ready to be discovered again, is what I'm feeling. Like it's almost kind of like I'm seeing this image of you know, you're in a lab and you're mixing some chemicals together, and you know, you're trying to find that one chemical that gives you that reaction. So I feel like there's something that comes in that ends up giving you guys this reaction where this really reignites that passion and desire that you have for one another. And with this karma here, this is like kind of like cause and effect, but you know, I don't feel like that this is like an energy of like, you know, the consequences of somebody's actions. I feel like this is kind of like that energy of consequence where, you know, your person, you know, realizes that you've been struggling in this connection, that you have been feeling alone, that you have been, you know, feeling disconnected. And I feel like is that they feel that you are, you know, letting go or pulling your energy back in a lot of ways. And this could definitely be the spark to reignite, you know, that chemistry there. You're going to find that reaction, that reactor energy. And I feel like this person's going to end up letting you in, because I feel like with this illusion card, it's almost kind of like I feel like this person is so scared to let you into their emotional world. It's like they have to keep everything hidden. They have to keep everything, you know, clouded, boxed up, you know, and they're going to regret their actions, especially if you do end up deciding to walk away and let go. But I feel like it's like you're trying to really fight for this, but you're hanging on by a thread. Like you're almost at the point where you're just like, I can't do this anymore. I just need to let go of this connection. I need to walk away, because you don't want to live a life like this, where you're in a, you know, a connection that, you know, lacks intimacy, you know, intimacy and connection. You know, that it's not always about, you know, what you have and, you know, paying the bills and money, but about real you know, that connection that you once had, that's one thing that you're craving for. That's why you fell in love, you know. Oh, here we have the Empress coming out again. Aries had this too. So I feel like, Saggies, is that you're going into your Empress energy. Like you're comfortable with what you have. Like, you are comfortable, you are happy, right? You're also nurturing and you're pouring into yourself in the process. But you also feel like with the Hangman energy, it's like, you know, you're also like, I'm not putting into me, like you're pouring into yourself, but you feel like hanging on to this connection with, you know, the stagnation, the way it's been, it's causing you to kind of like start really being, you have this disinterest in keeping the connection going, because you feel like is that you're doing a disservice to yourself, right? But here we have the Justice coming in, where we have this balance restored. You know, this is also that consequence, that cause and effect, you know, right here. This karmic cycle that is coming to an end. I feel like is that this honesty. I feel like your person's going to come in and they're going to open up and they're going to be honest with you. This Four of Wands, the stability is going to be returned. But I feel like that this stability ends up happening, or this triggers something within your person when you are at that breaking point, when you are at the end of your rope and you're just like, you're just so close to kind of throwing in the towel, and then I feel like something happens and then it's like, boom. This person is like, it's almost kind of like the clouds have shifted or the clouds have cleared. And this person is seeing clearly. They have so much clarity and they're just like, oh my God, what am I doing? You know, this is my person. And I feel like is that this harmony is going to be restored. But I'm also hearing too is that, you know, for some, it might be too late for this individual to realize this. Because you may have already decided, you know, I just need to walk away. It took them too long to realize the consequences of their action. Yeah. I feel like is that you're starting to become a little bit restless and you're giving up. You're giving up on this connection. But it's really going to be up to you, Saggies, is, you know, whether you want to, you know, really embrace the, you know, the new energies that's about ready to be ignited, or whether you just want to walk away, because I feel like some of you are also in an energy where you don't want to fall back into old patterns with this person. So you are the deciding factor, because we also have this yes-no energy here. So I feel like it's like you're just very indecisive. Some of you may be walking away, some of you no. But this person is going to realize, they're going to realize their mistake. They're going to realize how much they should have needed you or let you in during whatever dark time they was going through, or whatever stresses, instead of pushing you away and leaving you in this energy of loneliness, and where it's like you were reaching for, you know, that love and affection, and this person would just give you breadcrumbs in return. They will realize this mistake, Sagittarius. Alrighty, my Saggies, so this is your weekly love reading. So if you resonated with this, or if you would like to claim it, drop me a comment down below, or if you would be so kind as to hit that like button. If you would like to, you can always follow me. Hit that follow button and hit that bell notification at the top. That way you can be notified when I upload new content. If you would like to book a private reading with me or follow me on my other socials, all of those links will be in the description box below. And as always, Saggies, I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your week. Sending you all lots of love, light, healing energy, positive vibes your way, and I will see you next time.